Dr. Lee Lipsenthal has dedicated his career to assisting other doctors and nurses to find their sanity in the insane world of medicine. With a strong belief that the majority of doctors enter the field for altruistic reasons, he says the odds start stacking up against their happiness and well-being by the time they graduate from medical school.
I'm going to paint you a very broad picture of that. The first piece, getting into practice. The average medical school graduate has a $180,000 debt. They're generally speaking in their late 20s by the time they finish their training, early 30s. With that significant debt, they've never had really good employment. Their residency programs pay them, minimum wage in essence for roughly a 70-hour week. So they have this huge amount of debt at a time where they're generally trying to build a family and have a life. So their financial pressures are huge coming out of their training. In addition to that, the performance pressures are huge. Physicians today are measured, there's a term called pay for performance. You're actually measured by your clinical outcomes, which sounds good at a basic level, but can you imagine if a car repair person was measured for the quality of the work they did, not for having just done the job? Now, again, some of your listeners may be offended by that statement because doctors are not repairing cars, but we're working in a gray zone where you don't often know what's going on. You have an inkling of what the diagnosis might be or what the treatment might be, or there may be 10 or 20 different potential treatments for any health cause. So the decision process is not just black and white, and yet you're judged on that basis, okay? So you have that, you have the financial pressures, the pressures of generally starting a family when you're first getting out. And then you're stuck in most environments with anywhere from a 10 to 15-minute office visit, which no physician would find appropriate or reasonable. It's just the pressure of the employer in that case, because frankly most docs are now employed, the pressure of the employer to crank them out, if you will. So the new physician coming into practice is faced with a plethora of stresses, pressures, and it's very, very difficult for them to get started.
This is a very clarifying conversation about medical practitioners and their challenges. For the full-length version, go to consciousmedianetwork.com.